And once again, I did not go to St. Paul's site to make sure this works first before I started. So now I'm here. I'm trying to find it. I don't see it. But good to see you, Aaron.
Yeah, nice to see you.
How are you doing this fine day?
I'm good. I am tired, but I am good.
You're tired. Should I have you been staying up too late or getting up too early, or both?
Yeah, I wouldn't say either, really. I just I've just got the 3 o'clock fog going on.
Yeah, and that's really what this show's about. We do it at 3 o'clock because people are starting to wind down, and they need that little extra push, that little boost. And that's what this is about. It's about DNA.
Yeah.
And if my name was Terry, it would be, well, no, I was thinking, and if our names were Terry, it'd be the TNT. Well, you're Taylor, so yeah, we could have done TNT.
We could have done TNT. Yeah.
If I would have had a different name. So, well, I do hope everyone is doing well this Wednesday. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous outside. I got up, not that it matters, at 4:30 this morning and went outside and looked up at the sky and just saw the moon because the moon was so bright. It was like making everything else very, very faded. So it wasn't the best morning.
That's quite poetic.
Is it?
Yeah.
The moon was so bright it made it
faded.
Yeah. Okay. Everything else is faded. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that happens. So what news do we have today, Aaron?
Oh man, what news?
We didn't talk about any news before we got on here. That was a mistake.
We didn't talk about any news. I mean, I think really this week it's just more of the same. This past Sunday we started our indoor services. Yeah, we did for the time being. So as far as we know, those are continuing. We started SPY back again on a weekly basis from 2 to 3 p.m. We cut out our snack time for the time being.
And how'd that go over?
Kids want their snacks, but we're trying to keep our mask on as much as we possibly can. Yeah. We limited our time to just 1 hour for that sake, and we're still sticking with the 2 o'clock since some kids have stuff going on Sunday evenings. But that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. Yeah. We've had a few folks that have started checking out the stpaul.life website, and we continue. Oh, wait. I might be able to display this on the screen.
Yeah.
I didn't think about doing that, because we spend a lot of time prepping for this, and it just it just fell right through. So we're still, continuing to work on it. We have some quick links up here now, so it's easy to find stuff. Added a new course on pondering Psalms. This is something that my friend Kurt Austin and I do. Our practice over the years has been to read one Psalm every day for a week. Because it changes your perspective, when you read it more than once. And then we thought, well, gosh, maybe we should get together via Zoom or via computer and talk about, maybe our takeaways, what we learned, our confusion, and we do it in about 20 minutes. And so thought, hey, why not gather some of these together? I think we have 18. There's 13 on here now. I'll be adding some more as time continues. But I think that's the new course, and we continue to talk about other courses as well. I think one we're talking about today is doing one. What are we calling it? God's Big House?
Yeah. Or the House of Grace is something along those lines.
Yeah. So
you can also find our stpaul.life website as an app form on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. So those are there. If you are using them, we love to hear what you think, but also if you could leave a review on those, it'll help it'll help other folks find our apps easier as they search them. But yeah.
Yeah, and trying to keep things updated. So if there's news about services and stuff, that would probably, I think, be one of the first places to go, especially if you're part of our community of faith. That's a great place to go.
Mhm.
So, well, is that it for the news? Are we ready to jump into our topic for today?
Let's do it.
Yeah, and I called this episode. I know you don't always see the episodes, but I called it or have you?
I know I haven't seen what's going on.
I called it episode It.
Episode It.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always love seeing what you name the episodes afterwards, especially sometimes when it's like, oh, yep, another one.
Just another episode. I try, I try to be creative in my naming. So when I do groups, if I have two groups, I don't say group A or group B or group 1 or group 2. Sometimes I've said, all right, you guys are this group and you guys are that group. Or sometimes I've done you guys are group 3 and you guys are group B.
There you go.
Completely mix the whole thing out. So
there you go.
But I told you I was going to have you ever heard of the philosophy of it?
The philosophy of it? No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you're in seminary. They don't teach that in seminary?
No, apparently not.
Okay.
No,
Well,
no.
basically the philosophy of it, I kind of learned this through life. And when I was, I think about 6 or 7, it was a genuine cowboy gun and holster set with hat.
Okay.
And
I was 6 or 7. It was a clown, but
it was a clown. Oh, well, that's true. Stephen King. Yeah. But for me, it was that cowboy set. And I knew if I could get that, then life would make sense. And I told my parents, it was coming up Christmas. I said, if you get me this, it's all I will ever need. I will not ask for anything else. Get ready for that one, Aaron. You will hear that one day. I'll never ask for anything else. Why? Because that's it.
that's all you need. Yeah.
And so Christmas morning, I get up. My parents, they got me that gun and holster set. And guess what? That wasn't it.
That wasn't it. Yeah. You needed it once.
When I was 12, I realized that what it was my dad's 10-speed bike because I could ride it all over Kokomo. It had various speeds. I could drive quick, but it was his bike. And I kept saying, hey, Dad, you don't ride that bike. How about just letting me have it? Because I knew if he let me have that bike, that would be it.
Mm-hmm.
And he did, because he loved me and he cared about me. And so he let me have that bike. And guess what I learned?
That wasn't it either.
That wasn't it. No, because what I learned was when I was 16, it was a 1971 AMC Javelin.
Yeah.
And it was a hot rod, I had the big tires on the back, had a spoiler. I had air shocks that would pump up the back. In fact, one time I was actually pulled over by the police.
Sometime you're going to show us all a picture of this Javelin.
Well, see, that was in the day where we didn't have phones taking thousands of pictures of ourselves every day. I do not have a picture of this.
A single picture of this
No.
hot rod?
No, not a single picture of this hot rod. That I was actually pulled over one time by the police, and he said I had my back of my car jacked up too high.
Yeah.
But what he didn't know is the air shocks had a leak, and so over the course of several days, it would actually sink down. So I'm thinking, that's not a problem. It'll be okay in a day. But guess what I found out about that car?
That was not it either, I suppose.
That was not it. Because what I learned is when I was about, 17, 18, it was Rhonda.
Okay.
Yeah, Rhonda. And Rhonda was nice, but Rhonda was not it. Nope. Not at all. Nope. No. Because then I realized what it really was getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not it either.
Not it.
So the philosophy it is basically we have this tendency to look at things that we don't have and think that thing is going to fulfill our lives and help life to make sense. And as we go through life, that always changes.
Mhm.
Have any experience with stuff like this, Aaron?
Yeah. I've seen some sociologists and things like that say that folks in my generation are addicts to new.
Mm,
When you think of like addiction and things like that, there's typically it's related to this release of dopamine and all that. And so
right.
you look at things like social media, our cell phones in general, and things like that. Every time that we get on there, there's something new, or we hope that there's something new, which is why we'll keep just endlessly refreshing things. Because whenever something new comes across, there's this dopamine kick in our brain and we get sort of addicted to it. And so that's sort of the thing that came to mind when you're talking about this, is that we're always wanting something new, even if it's not good. It's also like, going back to the refrigerator after you're just there, hoping that the food fairy brought you some food. But
Something like, you know what I call dopamine?
what's that?
A happy juice.
Coffee juice. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I just made that up.
Yeah.
But we love, I mean, our brains love the dopamine. And the reality is, you say your generation loves the new. Well, I think every generation. I mean, we're always looking for new stuff. We always go to places and it's like, oh, look at this, and we buy this.
Mhm.
And I find it so ironic
Mhm.
that, and this is about myself, okay? I can wish, I can dream, I can save up for some item.
Mhm.
And 3 or 4, maybe 5, 6 years later, if you come to one of our garage sales, there it is.
Yep. Yep.
I
Exactly.
thought it was it. I really did. Things, we get used to things, and then we realize, it wasn't as big of a deal as what I thought it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I made that realization a couple of years ago, and now when I think of buying something, I really ponder it for a while as to whether or not that's going to happen. But the thing that I constantly play back in my mind is there's this Bob Dylan song called "Boots of Spanish Leather," which is about this woman leaving, going across the sea, and she keeps saying, to her lover, "Well, can I get you anything while I'm gone to remember me by? I'm probably going to be gone for a really long time." And he keeps saying, "No, no, all I want is your love. All I want is your love," and all that. And in one portion of the song, he says, "No, I don't want you to send anything to me, because the same things that I want today, I'll want again tomorrow."
Mhm.
And I think it put very, very well the conundrum we find ourselves in most of the time. We're always wanting things,
Yeah.
and just because we want something today, even if we obtain that thing, we're going to want something else tomorrow.
Ex- exactly. And there have been times when I have waited to buy something, not always because I wanted to wait, but because I had to for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then, a while later, I realized I, I forgot about it, or maybe I didn't forget about it, but it certainly didn't have the pull on me that it did just, a month or two earlier.
Right.
Uh, what I talked on Sunday in the sermon about getting stuck. And this is
Yeah.
really kind of where the rubber meets the road of getting stuck. Our culture continues to tell us that power, pleasure, and possessions are it.
Mhm.
And the crazy thing is, we will get these things, and then what we realize is, oh, this isn't quite it. But then we hear the same call of culture saying, oh, wait, no, that's not it. This is it.
That's it.
It's iPhone 12, not 11.
Mhm.
It's Google Pixel 5, not 4, and so they keep coming out, and you realize, I thought this was it when I got it, but now I realize it's not. And then culture goes, oh, but wait a minute, there's more.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what good marketing is designed to do, is to convince you that this is it. This is the thing that you needed, all your life to get you through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
And so it's like, I use the phrase stuck, but sometimes it's like we're on a treadmill,
Yeah.
and that carrot is just out of our grasp and we're always reaching for it. And I know folks that have, because they wanted the promotion or they wanted the raise or they wanted the job, they end up sacrificing their family, or sacrificing their health or sacrificing their time to get this thing that they are convinced is it. And if I can just get this thing, well, there's another promotion out there. There's another job out there. There's always something the culture tells us is a little better. And if we can get to that, we will find fulfillment in our lives, but it never seems to happen.
Exactly. And so I believe that the $1 million question for everyone is then, well, what is it? What is it? What is the thing that I want, the thing that I need more than anything else? Because somebody please tell me, because every company on every street corner wants to tell me what it is.
Yeah.
But what is it really?
Yeah. And I think this is really where Jesus comes in. The scripture from Sunday where Jesus says, what does it gain someone to, or what good is it for someone to gain the whole world that forfeit their life? Some translations say soul, but the one I use Sunday, the New Revised Standard Version, says life.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, as we're pursuing those things that we think will make us happy, we are actually sacrificing true life and real life, true fulfillment. Right. And Jesus is sitting there saying, hey, I'm not going to offer you power, pleasure, possessions, positions, popularity. Again, I want to just keep going through the P's.
Yeah.
But what Jesus says I will offer you is your purpose.
Yeah.
Why you were created, why my intentions for you, and his intentions for us is for life and life abundant. And so what he offers us is something that the world promises, but the world can't give to us. Yeah. But Jesus isn't always in our face. He invites.
Yeah.
He invites. Yeah. He doesn't push.
He doesn't push you into a webinar, which then pushes you into buying something, which then pushes you into He invites. He invites us.
Yeah, he invites and he gives us life. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this sermon series on if I can pull it up, on this graph. I've been calling it, the sermon series is called Blueprint. This I'm saying is a blueprint of wholeness, and what it recognizes is, there are a lot of different dimensions in our life, but these are like some main dimensions that when we get these in the right place in our lives, what we find is wholeness. What we find is fulfillment. What we find is purpose. And within each one of these dimensions, you see like a little, what is that? Like a little maze with numbers. Well, what it recognizes is we grow. I mean, we can grow in these areas, life of service, life of being open to Jesus, life of worship, hospitality, generosity. And as we grow in those, we find that we're growing deeper and closer in relationship to Jesus. And the reality is Jesus is it. St. Augustine, you might be familiar with this. St. Augustine prayed, he says, our hearts are restless, O Lord, or you made us for ourselves, for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in thee. And so we are people of the restless heart. And the reason why we're restless is because we were made to be in relationship with God through Jesus. And the reason why we're restless is because we keep believing the world holds answers that it doesn't. Right. And the reason why we're restless is because we kind of put Jesus at the sidelines of our lives, thinking that he really can't bring the fulfillment, but he's the only one who can, because he's created you and he's created me and he knows us intimately.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I feel like most of us, most of the time, probably feel like Jesus is trying to keep me away from the things that like I feel fulfilled doing, right?
Yeah. He's trying to deny me.
Yeah.
There's a scene in Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
with Gandalf and not Frodo. Who's the old guy?
You thinking Bilbo or
Bilbo. Yeah, Bilbo. And Bilbo has this ring, and Gandalf knows it's a problem, and he's wanting Bilbo to give him the ring, but Bilbo starts to give him the ring, and he always pulls it back, and all of a sudden Gandalf gets very big and mean, and he says, "I'm not." How's he phrase it? I'm not, something along the lines. I'm not trying to steal from you. I'm trying to help you. It's
yeah.
not the exact quote, but it's something along that line.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, when I heard that line, I'm thinking that is the message that God says to us.
Yes. Yeah.
He's not trying to limit us. He's trying to help us find fulfillment.
Amen.
And we continue looking all sorts of places. And I do want to say that this graphic, Aaron and I have been talking over, I don't know how long, but this isn't just for the sermon series. The sermon series is an introduction into looking at life differently. And we're planning in January on having a small group experience that kind of introduces this a little bit deeper. And then when that is over, we're planning on having, at least at this point, planning on having 4 different sessions of 4 different sections of 6 sessions where we really dive down even deeper for those that truly want to realign their lives and find that wholeness that only Jesus can give. It takes a while. You know, it's not something, I mean, today, some of you might say, you know what, I want to make a change. And maybe you've said that before, and then the change doesn't stick. Well, so this might, take most of next year, if not even longer, as we really dive down and give more of ourselves to Jesus, because he's more than dopamine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, and a lot of that, the core place will be stpaul.life. So if you haven't gone there, go ahead and go there. If you have any problems, let us know. We're still fixing little things here and there. When things don't make sense to someone, we try to address it, because if it doesn't make sense to you, there's probably someone else it won't make sense to. And so we try to.
Well, it doesn't make sense to us.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it made sense to us to begin with, but, we don't always think well or think normally. So, yeah.
As I'm sure you can tell if you've been watching this show for any time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So well, gosh, we're at 24 minutes, it looks like. So
Wow. Yeah.
what else do you want to add, Aaron?
I think, I think that's it. Just to be blessed in that knowledge that that God is going to be the one that's going to fulfill us, and not the things of this world, not food, not drink, not entertainment, not politics. Nothing is going to fulfill us in the way that Jesus wants to and is going to if we open up our lives to him. So,
yeah. And I think I remember the quote. I think Gandalf said, "I'm not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you."
There you go.
God's not trying to rob us of our joy, of our happiness. He's trying to show us what it really is. So, all right. Well, blessings, everyone. We had absolutely no comments today.
No comments.
No comments, unless this thing isn't working. So, but I don't think we had comments. So anyway, blessings just the same. I pray that you guys have a sense of God's presence and peace as you go about your rest of your day. And we'll see you later.
Yeah.